Good morning. I'm driving to work, but I wanted to share a tip on how to read people more properly. That helps me. Something that I tend to get hung up on is I read people. I feel like I get a sense for their energy and for their tendencies really quickly, but I don't necessarily know if they're to be trusted, if they're going to be in my life for a long time. Yeah. So here, I'm just going to say what my tip is that if you have a hard time getting a read on someone, try and look at what direction they seem to be going. Do they seem to be in the direction of growth, or do they seem to be spiraling downward? Because I think that can give you a good read on whether they're a good person or a bad person, or whether there's someone you want to be around or whether it's someone that you don't want to be around. Now let me just clarify this for a few seconds. I think that everyone is good deep down. I think that human beings are good. That's my opinion. I know that's like the classic debate of, are humans good or bad? Like, what is the inherent nature of humans? Are they good or evil? Well, they can be evil because fear makes us evil. And you have to be, well, you don't have to be anything, but I choose to be, and I think that one ought to choose to be compassionate to those who are fearful. But you realize that fear is not an excuse, because all of the wars in the world were created by fear. Everything bad in the world was created by fear. And like, sure, there are different sliding scales to that. But if someone is being held back by fear and they are seemingly going on a downward spiral in life, they might mean well, they might be a good friend, they might have been good to you at certain times in your life, but that is not that's not an energy that you want to be around. And, well, some people have more capacity based on different times in their life of how much they can sit with fear and how much energy they have to give to people that are fearful. But personally right now, I feel like this is something that I'm really having to be discretionary about, is that when I look at people, I really want to know, like, is this going to be someone that's going to help build me up or not? Because I feel like I'm not in the best place that I could be, and so I only want to be around people that are going to build me up. And that can make things pretty intense. That can make me seem pretty bold about things like, I'm either with you or I'm not with you. And I know, total dramatic ENFJ thing, but that's something that's helped me, is trying to look at their energy and being like, are they on the up? Are they on the glow up? Or did they peak in high school? Those are two ways to look at it. Well, it doesn't have to be a high school, but like, have they peaked, and are they kind of and don't judge people for going through a rough patch. Don't judge people for going through a transition, because sometimes when someone is going up, or if they're going down, it might look kind of the same. You might see that they are stressed out. You might see that there's a lot of change happening. It's kind of difficult to tell, because when situations hit you, you can either conquer it and move up, or you can let it consume you and move down. So you can't judge someone based on just the pure activity that's going on. Really, you shouldn't judge someone at all. I'm just saying, like, if you are trying to be discerning about those things, this is a way to do that. You are not any better than them, and recognize that you're not always going up either. So, but work on that. But it might be kind of confusing to think about, what does that even mean? by if someone is growing up or going down. But I guess you could just see that here's the archetype of someone that is going up. They know what their dreams are. They're actively working on them. Things seem to be falling into place. And I've said to before that I feel like when things are falling into place, it looks very similar to when things are falling apart. So, kind of like how I was saying earlier, it's kind of confusing to tell the difference. But when things are falling into place for people, that's when they are letting go of things that do not serve them. They are taking risks based on things that their heart wants. They know what their heart wants. They're being authentic and true to themselves. And they are... new opportunities and miracles seem to be falling in their lap. And if someone is plateauing, or if someone is going down a rabbit hole, then the things they truly want might be being ripped away from them, and they might be even more tempted to do the things that are distracting them. And this is different for different people. If something's distracting you, this could be like alcoholism or drug abuse, or it could just be too much Netflix, too much potato chips, or it could just be too much talking to friends instead of starting a business. Like, there are so many different levels to this, and no judgment at all based on what we all have to be very compassionate with ourselves based on what stage of life we're at. But just consider this when you are getting a read on people. Consider what direction they're headed, and where do you want to go? Are they headed in that direction with you as well? Because if they're not, then it might not be worth your time. All right, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it.